It's instinct. Everything is instinct. You stop to think, or you stop to try and do something that you've trained to do, you'll get hurt. My name is Leon Stewart, I'm 32 years old and my trade is personal trainer and martial art coach. It's all psychological. You train your body physically to meet the psychology of your mind. For me, it is all about survival. You know, I say to a lot of clients or a lot of classes, if you was in a tribe situation, which we all come from, a tribe situation, and there's danger coming towards that tribe, what would you do? A lot of guys claim they are the best. If somebody was attacking your household, would you know how to defend your household? Most men don't know how to do this. You know, we don't even think about this. We always look at the police as, but literally if there was civil war here and everyone was free for all, what would happen, you know? What would happen? Can you defend your wife and kids? That's the kind of angle I try and give to students and clients. You know, as a man, you should be able to walk on the street and feel confident that you can do something. I think my main strengths as a fighter is my adaptability. I've trained with different kinds of martial arts for many years, and I think about the game a lot different to some of the modern day fighters now or the current fighters now. I think they think about it more as a sport, where I think about it as literally the battlefield and street self-defense. You know, originally my generation got into it because of, again, street self-defense. So even bringing that into the ring, it's not a sport for me. It's never ever been a sport for me. It's always been self-defense or, you know, combat. So when I go into the ring, every punch has to hurt, every knee has to hurt, every leg kick, every, you know, my grappling, my balance has to be there, my strength has to be there all the time. Even if I'm losing a fight, that guy will remember me, because I'll drag him to the, you know, to the depths of the ocean with me. So even if we do fight again, he'll think twice. There's no set-up moves, you know, it's instinct. Everything is instinct. You stop to think, or you stop to try and do something that you've trained to do, you'll get hurt. And that's just that. I'll call it out and dare any martial art master to test himself in a real street situation. I'm sure he'll fold unless he deals with that trauma. And the trauma is things will come from all directions. It's just like the battlefield in the old days, in the, you know, battlefield battles where swords and knives and axes all come from all different areas. And if you don't have your instinct about you, you will get hurt. And that for me is true martial arts. You know, it's an instinctive game. There's women that are a lot stronger than guys because they have a killer instinct about them. You'll never, you know, some guys will know that, some guys won't. I think every martial arts style has a different purpose and a different place in combat. For instance, as a boxer, you'll be on your feet, you use your hands. It's the most natural thing as humans that we do. We shake hands, learn to use your hands. Through there, you learn to move your upper body, torso. From there, as you make contact, you might want to wrestle. From there, you might want to use hip manipulation, leg sweeps from a standing up position, judo. You know, then it goes down to the floor. You can come down to the floor. You've got BJJ, you've got wrestling dominant on top, you've got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu dominant on the bottom. If you put the jigsaw puzzle together, you become, you know, like Bruce Lee said, you become one. You become yourself with all these tools, and that's what I've always tried to do. Is take what I want from each style, put it together, and then I become Leon. I have trained with some of the best karate guys, some of the best judo guys in the UK, some of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys in the UK, some of the best Thai boxers in Europe. It was really interesting training and picking up skills from them, and them turning around and saying that there's skills that I've shown them that they've either forgotten about or they don't practice.
Come on, Leon!
My greatest achievement, if we're talking about places and honours, I think winning Fight of the Tournament in China. As a black male going to China and getting that honour from the elders after we had a banquet dinner, and they were able, you know, the elders of China, some of the best coaches in China stood up and You know, they gave me a prize, rice wine, and which was very strong. And they honoured me, and for me, that was the big one because it's in a whole new language. There was a language barrier, but we understood each other very well. You know, I went there and I made it known that I'm not coming here to be a punch bag. I'm coming here to show you myself, and I did that. And you know, the judges, which were Team China, could have given it the other way, and they gave it to me. So they saw something in me while they gave it to me. So for me, that was my biggest choker moment. The fight experience that I got out there was quite mixed. With the team that they brought together was all different levels, in all different kinds of skills. So my first opponent that I fought, he was supposed to be the best in the team, or 15 at throwing. So his judo skill and grappling skill was very good. So he could literally throw you off your feet. He was very tricky, very cunning. I gave away a couple of kgs on him, but he was still able to manipulate. You know, I had to be on my toes. And what kept me in good stead was my sambo skills, my sambo skills. You know, every grip he went, I recognised, and I could block or I could counter and manipulate him. It ended up pulling me through the match and winning it. So I found him very daunting. And the second one, I think, was someone that's in their national Chinese kickboxing team. Very cunning eyes, his footwork, stalking wise, can back you up without you knowing you're at the edge of the ring. He landed a spinning back kick in the final round that dropped me for 8. He was quite happy that he got me there because it was pretty difficult for them. Luckily, I'd done enough to win the round again, and I came through unscathed again. Obviously, their style of kickboxing is very similar to Muay Thai or anything we do out here. All it is just how you apply it. I think what I learned the most about their people is you show honour, they'll give you honour back. You fight to your best of ability, and you show respect for their culture, and they'll give it, no matter where you come from, they'll give it to you back. If I got attacked on the street, my first thought is always try to resolve it. And the reason why I say that is not because I'm frightened, it's because I'm of the opponent, it's because I'm frightened what I will do. And I think that's what martial arts teaches you. You learn things when you start getting good at things, or you realise, okay, I've trained or sparred with 10 guys and I keep doing this one move and it seems to keep getting them. The new generation, they get really pumped up on this, when really they should be humbled by it. You know, because you see it in street situations, you see it in MMA. When another guy sheds blood, or you see someone's eye socket come out, or you cut them with an elbow, or someone walks onto a knee, it stuns the person who's done it, because they're like, oh, I actually can hurt him, and there is blood, and you know, it's not a nice thing when you see the damage of what you've done. You know, you lose something as well. That's why I think the whole thing of martial arts is, you know, to be humble, to be safe with it, and only to use it when you really need to use it. Desperation, life or death.